Hello, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports news out there, and this is quite the story for sure. More updates on the whole Riot situation. If you guys remember, all the way back to December, it was actually Kotaku who came out with the original allegations out there of misconduct and a very harsh culture, as well as the bro culture in the Riot offices, and more updates have come out ever since then, and it gets pretty extreme. We're going to touch back on some of the old stuff, touch on some of the new stuff, and you guys, of course, can leave your thoughts down below because this is definitely interesting going on with the Epic Games thing coming out. If you guys not hear about that, how hard they work their employees, and then now this whole situation being retouched on, it certainly does not paint Riot and many game developers out there in a very good light. So first of all, you remember back to the old movement, all of those harsh conducts, and of course the bad culture around Riot did come out. It led to this post as well. You know, their first steps forward, the classic company, take a picture of everyone and it should be okay. Ever since then as well, a couple women actually were going to sue Riot. That did come forward, and apparently now, most recently, as of last week, it was actually Riot coming down and saying, yeah, you're not going to be suing us. As now Riot has fired back with their own claims and is motioning to force both of these women into private arbitration. If you guys do not know, pretty much both these women will now no longer have the right to take legal action against Riot, and according to Riot, it's actually both those women who waived the right to take legal action against them when they signed up to work for the company. So obviously some pretty terrible news. That was not the most recent stuff, though. It was recent, but most recently it's actually the entire company now staging a walkout to protest these women, and more power to them. It is so great to see Riot, of course, trying to quell the fire, trying to take these things under the rug and kind of quiet the noise out there, and it's really nice to see now internal noise taking off against this as Riot try to push things back behind closed doors. Now the entire company is standing up allegedly to try and have a walkout to protest both of these women and their rights, and with the rights they should have to at least take some action against Riot for the claims that they have made so far, which seem pretty extreme, and they are not anywhere near the only people who have made claims out there. And these stories stretch way back. The two most notable stories I remember of this, the first of which is actually Barry Hawkins. He was the director of product management. He also left the company a while ago as well due to many reports of the inappropriate work behavior, the intensity of the culture over there, and the way that sexual gestures were made around the workplace, along with other things. With that, the main one being that apparently Brandon Beck, the co-founder of Riot alongside Mark Merrill, in a very popular meeting had actually outspoken. Now, to give it context, he was talking about recruiting employees to the company itself, but he actually had the now kind of infamous quote out there that no does not necessarily mean no, and apparently according to Barry Hawkins as well, it was actually followed by an outcry of laughter by most of the employees. He looked around and saw a few people thinking the same thing about having such a reference be made. If you guys do not know that cultural reference, it applies to sexual confrontations where classically it's usually the men that say no does not always mean no. He used that in a very popular meeting, of course talking about recruiting, but still the way that people laughed about it gave off a very, very weird cultural vibe, at least to Barry, and eventually led to him leaving the company altogether. Now, alongside that, the most interesting story we have heard so far all the way back to December are many accusations against one person, that being the COO, and that's going to be Scott Gelb, and I don't even know how to react, because apparently both former and current employees, just stage yourself guys, have reported this man, Scott, apparently ball tapping, which included flicking or slapping of the balls, comedically humping his employees, and occasionally farting on them as well. I'm going to tell you guys one thing. If you guys have worked in a workplace before, which I assume many of you guys have, I consider myself very close to my team leader, who is one of my many bosses out there. So in the same sense, he has the same role of leadership that this COO should, right? He should be held with some sort of respect, and he should act that way as well. I can tell you guys one thing. I am very close to my team leader. You know, he recruited me. We hang out all the time. We work nearly every day together. Heck, we live together with our roommates here as well. And I can guarantee you guys, he has never once in his entire life, and I don't think he ever will, touch my balls in any way, comedically hump me, and he certainly has never farted on me as well. This definitely just kind of attunes to the fact that the bro culture rumor out there about Riot is certainly true. I mean, just imagine, right? Yes, this might fly in a frat house, this might fly with your bestest friends, but when in a workplace, this kind of thing should never be happening. And I think we can all imagine if your absolute boss, your upper boss, this is a C-class employee, the COO, if he had ever done these things to you, I feel like a far majority of us would feel very uncomfortable and would want to confront someone about it. And at this point, who do you really confront about it when a C-class employee is doing these kind of things to you? And it just kind of adds to all the rumors out there. There there are several cases of this, dozens of employees, both current and former, coming out about this. And I guess the most important thing coming forward is the new evidence, and of course the new things coming out. Apparently a Riot walkout to protest these women who should have the right to take some legal action against Riot. And all in all, I think it's great that some noise is being made about this, and especially by the own employees of Riot, because some things should be brought to light, and I think a lot of these cases are those exact stories. But as always, hope you guys are into this episode of Esports News. It was a weird one. It was a strange one. We took a trip back to the middle school days almost with the allegations out there about some Riot employees and what they've done so far. At the very least, my ultimate worry is what can actually be done, right? If Riot is actually willing to put these women into private arbitration to protect themselves, could they not do this to every employee who comes out against them? I like that at the very least that some employees are actually making some noise about this and at least bringing some light to the situation. For current employees, former employees, hopefully going to have some sort of resolution, and of course, most importantly for future employees, they have some sort of light shed on the situation of what they can expect that lies await for them at Riot Games. As always, I hope you guys all enjoy it. My name is Jake. I'll see you back here sometime soon, hopefully with some more happier esports news. But until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.